Shaman Jeff here at the Village Mystic, sitting in one of my favorite places, a nice power space, beautiful amethyst cathedrals around me, stone of divination, stone of connecting to higher self and to the spiritual realms, the ancient crystal skulls, Aska and Zadka. Wishing you a wonderful week. This is Shaman Jeff, always squeezably soft. We're going through a lot of changes right now in our life, and we've got more challenges than we probably remember for years. There's more fears out there, and there's more stuff going on. We don't know what to believe. We don't know whether we're supposed to be afraid or supposed to be at peace. And I believe you're supposed to be at peace. And I'm going to give you a clue for reaching that peace if you choose. One way in which you can stay at peace with yourself is to remember to be present. What is it in this moment that is creating any kind of chaos in your life? What is it in this moment that is real? Right this minute, you're sitting down listening to me. That's what's real. All of the thoughts, all of the projections into the future, the fears, the worries, none of that's real. So try not to feed into it. Try to stay at that place of inner peace in your life where you have control. I have already shuffled the cards. And I do everything consistently. It's important that when you read the cards, when you work with the cards, that you're consistent in how you shuffle, you're consistent in how you cut the deck, you're consistent in how you read the card and the placement of the card. And they come together to tell a story. But you want to have that consistency, because how else are your guides or your subconscious mind going to know to lay these cards out in a manner in which you're going to recognize the message that they're trying to give you? And so you want to have that kind of consistency. First card out. Page of Swords. The Page of Swords depicts somebody with a sword drawn upright and cutting somebody or something out of their life. Because of the earlier message that we were traveling through, I hope that's fear. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing that you're cutting out of your life. It could be something good. And usually that's the case. The things that we think that we need to hold on to are usually only minor losses in the bigger scheme of things anyway, or else the Creator wouldn't present it with us. The next card out is finding spiritual harmony, finding that inner peace. Now this next card coming out, the position, actually represents what's crossing your path, what's working for you or maybe working against you. Oh, and in this case, we have a fear of prosperity. We have a fear of money. If you can't visualize yourself being abundant, then it's very difficult at best to make that happen. When we start entertaining fears and we start worrying about things, we only tend to muddy the energy. If we can surrender it and say, okay, what's going to be is going to be, and start seeing good things happen, and then we can change that outcome very easily. But it's just overcoming an obstacle at this point in time. In the past position, this is one of the happiest cards in the deck. This is the Sun. And so we're feeling like our happiness is behind us right now, and that's far from the truth, but this is measuring what it is we're feeling at this time. Beneath us, we have the Moon, psychic forces working for us. But we're not recognizing that because that's beneath us. It's not right in our field of view, but there's an undertone going on. Now, this could be psychic forces also working against us if we're failing to see our own good. If we're not seeing our own good, if we're not seeing potential and seeing good things happening, if we're embracing fear, doubt, worry, lack, then these are undertones that are already creating. If we're locked into an identity of not being abundant, locked into an identity of not having a good relationship, whatever that identity is, we need to let it go to see good things happening, or else we just keep creating that same circle over and over in our life. Card of worrying too much. This person is carrying a heavy load here. This is the Ten of Wands. And wands are kind of intellectual, so it means that the worries that they have only exist in their mind to begin with. But when you have these kind of worries, you're going to notice your back's going to start hurting, or your neck. When you look at the stilted position that this person is in carrying this bundle, it's easy to imagine that their back is either going to hurt or their neck. And so if that shoe fits, then start paying attention to what it is you're worrying about, and then figure out that it's not real. Figure out it only exists in your mind unless you put enough energy into it to create it. But this is giving you a clue to help you through these things. On top of you, which this card is not something you usually are aware of, but right now it's in existence, and it shows that you're not willing to accept your own good. By you not being aware of it, you may not be seeing it on the forefront, or you may say, well, I see my own good, but underneath it, the truth is you're having difficulty seeing the good in you, or seeing your own magical gifts. And all of us have those magical gifts. So this is a card of not being truthful anyway. But the truth is, you can find those gifts within yourself, and when you do, then you begin to create a better life for yourself. When you can see the good in yourself, then you begin to feel like you deserve good things in your life. And you do. I also pulled a card tonight from our animal friends. And remember, to the Native American, the animal will not show itself unless it wants to be seen. And the card I pulled from the animal kingdom is the brown bear. The bear is a card of knowing the cycles of life. The bear knows when to hibernate, it knows timing. And we all go through up cycles and down cycles, and one of the things that the bear brings into your life is that you're coming out of a down cycle. And with that being said, you are now moving into an upward cycle. And that upward cycle is going to last approximately 2 years. When Mama Bear goes into the cave and has the young, the babies stay with Mama Bear for 2 years, which means you're going to have a 2-year window of opportunities opening up for you. Now, I did have a question from one of our friends out there. They were asking if now is a good time to start something they're wanting to start. And with this being the card of the night, I'm pretty sure the answer was already given to me before I was even aware of the question. And so now would be a good time. We are going through some cyclical change, and I'm sure things are going to keep changing. Keep seeing the very best for yourself, and keep seeing good things happening, and keep it real. Stay in this present moment. Don't get caught up in the future or tomorrow or what might happen, but be here now. This is the moment that is real, and this is the moment that you begin to create your tomorrow. by whatever thoughts you're putting out there. So it's real important for you to stay on top of your game. When there's all this craziness going on around us, it's not a time to you be a part of the craziness. It's a time for you to hold that inner peace and to hold your space and to know what's real. Like us, subscribe. To share is to care. This is Shaman Jeff at the Village Mystic, wishing you a wonderful week. Create it for yourself. And I know that for a bear to fly is almost aerodynamically incorrect as the bumblebee flying. And yet the bumblebee does fly. And tonight, so does the bear coming at you. Have a great week. This is Shaman Jeff.
Meditation tomorrow.
Don't forget meditation tomorrow night. Look forward to having you tune in. Have a great night. I am out. Namaste.